The best breakfast for decreasing cravings and losing fat is not the simple answer I thought it would be. 2 studies tried to answer the question, is it better to eat high-fat, low-carb in the morning or low-fat, high-carb? They measured blood sugar, insulin, and satiety hormones like GLP-1. GLP-1 is the hormone made deep inside your gut, and it sends the message to your brain, I'm full, I don't want to eat anymore. Wegovy and Ozempic are prescription drugs that deliver that hormone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When we start these medications, there is a nausea at first, but that fades, and what happens next is an absence of food noise. That constant reminder of what am I going to eat next is gone. High GLP-1 makes weight loss effortless, and turning it on all the time with a drug is a surefire way to do that. But GLP-1 is made every time you eat, and some foods stimulate it more than others. The optimal breakfast robustly stimulates the GLP-1, but barely stimulates insulin. If you can keep insulin low and GLP-1 high, you crack the code for losing weight and keeping it off. The first study, done in 1997, took 6 lean women and 6 obese women. Each woman drank a pure carb shake on one day and then a pure fat shake on the other while measuring these hormones. The carb shake caused a strong GLP-1 response in the lean women, but the obese women hardly had any GLP-1 response to that exact same shake. So the lean women felt full after they drank a bunch of carbs, but the obese women had hardly any suppression of appetite. And when both the lean and obese women drank the pure fat shake, neither one had much of a GLP-1 response. So does that mean that a high carb breakfast like oatmeal is a better breakfast? Let's look at the other markers. When the women ate the high carbohydrate shake, they had a robust production of insulin in both groups. When they ate the fatty shake, it was much less insulin. Let's summarize that. The pure fat drink didn't spike the GLP-1 much, but it did not spike the insulin. If you're confused, hang in there. Let's look at the other study where the patients ate real food. They didn't just drink their calories. This study in 2013 looked only at overweight adults, and they had mixed food in these meals that they ate on one day, comparing it to a different day that were equal in calories, equal in protein, but one had low carb-ish, 56 carbs in that meal, versus high carb, 123. In this real-world example where they're eating food, the high fat did a much better job of spiking the GLP-1 as opposed to the high carb. So what is the perfect breakfast for weight loss in my patients? Well, I never tell my patients to count their fat or their protein, but I do tell them to count their carbohydrates. Carbs spike insulin, and the effect on GLP-1 is much weaker than when they eat protein or fat. Fat and protein also spike insulin, but to a much lesser degree than those carbohydrates. In reading these studies, I learned a lot about GLP-1, but what I found is that my knowledge of insulin far surpassed this study. What I know to be true is the patients with insulin resistance are not going to fix their GLP-1 deficiency in a day. In fact, if they would have studied these patients for 2 weeks eating the exact same foods, I bet the numbers would be revealing for what insulin resistance does in this endocrine nightmare. My advice, if you're trying to lose weight, specifically fat, keep your total carbohydrates per day 20 or less, and eat them all in the morning. It's far easier on your metabolism. So steak and eggs versus oatmeal, steak and eggs win every time. Warning, most of my patients can't eat any carbohydrates in their breakfast. You need to know how to eat for your metabolism. Click here and I'll see you there.